So for a lot of photographers starting up, earning money as a photographer, they start off by being wedding photographers. Why? Because they can do that in their spare time, in the weekends where usually the weddings are held. And also it does not require a studio. So the expenses can be kept rather low. Okay, so obviously the outdoor place is important. Now, if you live in a neighborhood, you actually need to scout the primary nice places just around where you live, simply because you're most likely to get jobs from your close by population. Okay, so you need to find locations which are good in all seasons, because wedding is, of course, here in Denmark it's usually peaking in spring, early summer, and then it's sort of declining. When we reach winter time, it's rare that there is a wedding. Okay, so I think this would probably be the case for a lot of places. If there is, here in Denmark, the weather is really dark and gloomy in the winter time, so that's obviously why people choose not to have their wedding there. Anyway, you need to have good knowledge of the surrounding locations. Okay, that is quite important. And then you need to have a plan B. What is that? Well, it could be raining. And if you don't have a studio, which is the obvious plan B, I mean, for me, that is plan B. We go in the studio, no problem. But usually rain is not ongoing the whole day. There is a little trick here. You can, if there is a wedding coming up, you have access to free photo assistant. What is a photo assistant? It's somebody who can hold an umbrella. Okay, maybe two umbrellas. And that is that if you notify the wedding couple to be joined, you can easily put in the conversation. It would be very nice if you could bring someone along with me, with you, so I have somebody to help me with reflector screens, or hold an umbrella if that is needed, and so on and so on. Don't scare them. I mean, it's going to be wonderful weather, of course, but it's very nice to have somebody to help you. Okay, the good thing about an on location scenery is actually that it's away from all the people from the church or the city hall or wherever the wedding ceremony was held. So you do want to go somewhere a bit away from that, because it's very disturbing to have a crowd of people around you when you are trying to do the official wedding photos. Okay, but let's say that you have the location and you have arrived and you have used 15 minutes to sort of like scout the area. You know where the good scenery is, and then they arrive. And what is it you are having arriving that is very important? Now, wedding photography can be so easy if you understand this point. They have just made one of the biggest steps in their life and survived. And of course, they're expected to survive anyway, but there is a lot of, I'm going to say yes now. And these people, newlywed, are usually very relaxed and relieved after this thing. And they're a little bit like, oh, so you're my husband. Ah, you're my wife. And that is an excellent mood. So, when I receive the wedding couple at this point here, I'm very relaxed because we are going to relax and have a good time. This is a break. Wedding photography is not a stressed up situation. Don't make it so. Know your location, know your equipment and so on, and just be completely relaxed. That is key. But you are helped a lot in that this couple arriving is actually likely to be very relaxed. Okay, so we got sunshine here, and as far as I remember, I used the flash to soften it up a bit. Yes, I did. But it is basically that you have scouted the location and know, oh, there's something nice here, there's something nice there, and you just place the cobble and you're all set. Now, if I had an assistant, which is the advice, I could have used the person as somebody holding the reflector screen, but I had another plan. Because this guy was somebody he got a new camera and so on, and it could take video. So I said, he asked me if he could take video, and he seemed very keen on that. So I said, sure, you can, as long as I can use it as well. So that's the video you're seeing here. It is not a professional photographer. It's my assistant for the day. Okay? I could have asked for two, then I would have had someone to hold the screen. Now I'm using to soften up the light, I'm using a flash, but a reflector screen could have done it as well. Alright, so again, know your location and also find out, do these people want to have a bit of fun? Do they want to actually do something a little bit off the chart and not be completely normal? And you go with that. Locations, very important. I will just quickly go back to that one there because I had something I wanted to say about that. The one with the water there. I was, one of the last weddings I was at, somebody said, oh, we just do the photos in the backyard of the neighbor because he has a nice pond. And I'm thinking about my pond. This is my pond here. I've done the sculpture by over to the right, by the way. It's sort of well, that's a separate story. Never mind. But I thought, okay, they have a nice pond, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm planning in my head so we can do some nice reflections of them standing over on the side there, and then we have the reflections of the couple. And so I had, okay, sounds like a good location, and all right, let's go with that. Actually, when I came there, the pond was completely covered with green stuff. You had no reflections, and it actually looked like a mud hole. So that was out. I was there 20 minutes before. So found some flowers, and found a nice tree, and found a spot where I could have the pond be completely blurred in the background, so one could not see that it just looked like a landscape, but a flat landscape sort of, or something. It looked okay, didn't look like a pond, but never mind. When they arrived, I had my plan set, but I also sort of like tuned their expectations a little bit by saying, okay, so the pond is obviously not really visible, but we'll see what we can do. It's just so if they had this idea also, which I had talked to them about the reflections and so on, they now know, okay, it's not going to be that, but we have to do something else. And also I managed to use a singular flower as a foreground and have them be in the back, and it brought a lot of colors. I just had these flowers go completely blurred, and they'd made sort of like a ocean of flowers in the bottom of the picture, and then I had something completely plain and boring in the background, and then the wedding couple. But that was actually nice, so I managed to do it. But the 15-20 minutes you are there in advance is precious. Okay, so locations do take up a role. Sometimes the season means that the a location like the bridge there, which is very nice in the springtime, is not good at that time where you saw it. So you have to sort of look around, what does this place have? And that can be very different things. You can use a lot of small things like flowers for a background. It's very fast. The seasons are changing, and you have to go with that when you do outdoor photography. And the wedding couple don't expect you to change the seasons, so don't worry about that. Use whatever you have, and if you got brave models, then take advantage of that. So locations, very important. They are in fact your studio. Okay, when you are starting photographer, you have access to public places where there is wonderful scenery. That's your studio. Know it well. And even if you know it well, do know this also, that if you have not been there for a month or two, you have no clue. Nature might have changes. There might be big construction going on or something weird in the background, completely spoiling your view. So the 15-20 minutes you are there in advance, checking out the location of a location you know. If it's a new location, I'll actually advise you to be there half an hour before. So when the wedding couple arrive, you're completely set, okay? And you have that relaxed mode about you. And expect to see some very relaxed people, because they've just done something incredible. And of course, the first thing you do is you congratulate them, you know? I mean, that is important. It's courtesy, but it's actually an important step, you know? And they usually have half an hour, 1 hour, something like that, before the next thing on the agenda happens, a reception, or there's something there, you know. But this video is basically, I have gone into, okay, so this is the on location scenery photos on the outside. I'll do a video also where we take in a more full concept, where we go to the church also. But to sort of like sum up, what's important here is know your locations and be there 15 minutes before, so you have checked the current situation, and invite them into your studio and be totally relaxed, because what you are likely to meet is two very relaxed people. There is now and again somebody who is getting married for practical reasons, insurance and so on, and actually been together for 15 years. They have 3 kids, and they are not so romantic, okay? But they might be, you know. They might might still have it. But now and again, you find someone where you think, okay, why did they get married, or something like that. It's rare, really rare, but you will get it, you know. And you will also get sometimes that one of them is so concerned about, oh, the dinner and what's going to happen, and so on and so on and so on. But usually, even those people who have a tendency to be very nervous, because they've just done this great thing and said yes, they're relaxed, they survived, and they like to hold hands, they like to look at each other, all right. So you got 2 models there, which is basically in the perfect mood. So enjoy. I mean, you're one of the very first people who get to spend time with this newlywed couple. Treasure that time, because it's a lovely time. And I wish you a good time doing that. And as I said, a lot of photographers start up doing that, and it makes a lot of sense, as you can do that in your spare time, in the weekend, and you don't need a studio for that. Do remember to get the assistant. That is something will come in handy, okay? Alright? Take care.